We are Journals Out Loud. I am your lovely and captivating host, Louise Palanker, here with a panel of wise and wonderful young people. We're here to answer all of your questions about doing this life thing that we all love to do.
I've been out there wandering.
I've
been in here wandering.
Ooh. Yeah. Get it. Hey.
Such a good song. Sometimes you just want to... What happened?
He goes,
Arriba. That was good. So we've got a panel of wonderful...
It's a rap thing.
It's okay.
We've got Sean, Tara, Ryan, Luna, and Jilly and Jabbar. In the studio, we've got Aaron, we've got Andrew, and we've got, of course, Matt Sigmund from Premier Radio, who's busy. He's busy putting a studio together for Steve Harvey.
Oh,
which is
my God, I love Steve Harvey.
I am not there. I'm not there with you.
Do you have that picture? Can you put that picture on the screen? It's like, work on that
next week.
Work on that. He's got the picture. The studio is torn apart, and he has it build back up in his own vision.
I have a one-way beef with Steve Harvey.
Wait, why?
Like, I don't think he knows who I am, so it's really one way.
All right, go ahead.
But like,
tell me
you
your
don't
beef,
think
man.
he knows
like,
who you are?
Well, maybe he does.
May not.
Maybe he watches the show, right? Like, maybe.
Yeah, he may be a fan.
Okay, if he's watching right now, tell him what's up.
Well, it's just like nothing qualifies him to do as much stuff as he does, and like that
Right.
bothers me. That he's just a very underqualified person to do. all
Well,
the
now
things he
he's
does.
qualified because he has so many shows.
But that doesn't qualify. That's like Paris Hilton being famous for being famous. He's on TV
well,
for
no,
being on
if
TV.
you're a host for lots of shows, then that's building your
Well, no,
resume.
he's
a good
He's
host.
qualified to host a show, but to like give advice and like that kind
Okay,
of stuff.
but Ryan,
like, that,
what qualifies a lot of us for giving advice? Like we're just living life.
I'm
We're
definitely
just
we're
not-
giving
not. We're not
advice.
Steve
not
Harvey.
qualified.
We're not like
We could
trying to
be.
run the world.
We give advice.
We could be.
We're
We
not. I
could
guarantee
be
you, none of us are Steve Harvey.
We will be like Steve Harvey.
We will
Give
be-
me like a year.
We will be
For a year.
like Steve Harvey. But we
gonna
will
like,
not
give us-
visit Trump in his
Guys,
tower.
low-key,
That is
I-
where we will have the division between us and Steve
And his
Harvey.
teeth
I
are too
am
white.
Steve
Right,
Harvey.
sorry, that was the other thing.
Go ahead.
You're not Steve Harvey. Shut up.
I am Steve
No,
Harvey,
you're not.
okay?
Go
So
away.
would Steve Harvey have gone to Pride the way you did and wrecked it the way you did?
Whoa.
Absolutely.
No, he wouldn't have.
Wrecked it.
He
What?
wouldn't have.
Yes, he freaking would, dude.
All right, tell us about your Pride experience, please.
Well, do you want to start with your thoughts on Pride?
We have show and tell.
Because you start with, and then
But watch the monitor, Tara, because you're going to have to narrate.
yeah, you want to start. That's when we first. That's
Okay,
us right
so,
before we
yes.
got into Pride.
This is when we're going into Pride, and like somebody said, "Oh, do you want us to take your picture for you?" And we're like, "Yes,
We're
please
like,
do."
absolutely, yes.
So we're all wearing sunglasses. We're triplets. It was a great experience. You know, I got glittered by the end of it. Actually, we went in. We were like scoping around like all the festivals. Like festival stuff. What do you call it? Like
There were all these like different stands.
and different stages. There's like, did you guys know that there was like 5 different stages within Pride? I did not know. There was
Truly
like
Coachella.
a Latino
That's
stage.
how I describe. I thought it was like Coachella. I had no idea what it was going to be like. I just showed up thinking, I thought it was, because I knew there was a parade.
I
but
thought you just like walk around and you have fun and you talk to people. I didn't know there was like
Right.
all these I thought there was like one main performance like between like certain amount of time, but that was it. But like that was absolutely not it. There was tons of performances going around all the time. Like me and KatieMichal were like jamming a lot, like dancing around like goofballs. And Jilly and I got bio-glitzed. Which follow BioGlitz on
What does that mean?
on Instagram. It means that it's. Do you want to explain what BioGlitz is, Jilly?
Yes, it's like
Okay.
safer, I think, glitter for you and for the environment, because I guess it's not
Is
usually.
regular glitter not safe?
I
Is there,
guess
like,
it's
a lot
not.
of like
It's
glitter,
not.
crossfire.
Yes, apparently it's
That you get caught
controversial.
in.
Glitter is controversial.
Okay.
But it's a controversial subject. That picture,
Everything is.
yeah, those are just some pictures of
Oh,
us.
those are my friends.
Yes.
Okay, so the brunette I work with, her name is Austin, and then that's her younger sister,
Is
Brooklyn. I love them so much.
everyone named after geography?
I mean, probably so. But
Okay.
yeah, no, Austin and I work at Pink Taco together. She's a waitress.
Wait, you work at Pink Taco? Sorry but like I love.
There's
Pink
so much to
Taco.
learn about Tara.
You love Pink Taco?
Yeah.
No way, you have to come in, but you're not 21 yet, so I can't
Shh,
serve you
I'm
alcohol.
21 for all you know.
And as long as you're carrying a fake, then I won't
Oh my
say
I don't own a
anything.
fake
Tara,
ID. I do not
you're on
own a
live
fake
All
ID.
right,
air.
guys, we have to
Okay.
move the conversation
So
forward.
essentially, My thoughts on Pride. I loved it so much. I thought everyone was so happy. I thought it was like Coachella, but everyone was just like so happy. It was like a celebration of love and acceptance and just happiness. Everyone was dancing around. Everyone was so happy to be there. Everyone was, it just felt like Coachella, but like not annoying. It was just
no
like
betches.
no
betches.
Do you remember there was this dance thing going on between these two guys?
I heard
that
it's
were
called
there?
voguing. I learned it's called
Oh
voguing.
yeah. Oh, that's what it was. They were
Voguing.
voguing together. Literally, like, okay, so one guy's gonna be in front of me, the other guy's in front of me. This is how their phases were. This is how everything was. They were just like.
It was incredible.
Is it like a battle?
It was like,
But like they were no, it wasn't a battle. It wasn't a battle. They were just like in the moment and they were loving it and they were low key battling, but they weren't
Were they?
battling.
They were
but
just like-
they were.
They were
was
riding the wave
amazing.
of each other's energy.
Yes.
that is such a beautiful
Were they on
and
drugs?
Way to
amazing
put
way to
it,
put it.
right.
So
Were
They
they
were,
on drugs?
but I
No,
loved
they
it,
were
and
not.
I would like to go back every year. I think it was amazing. I really did love it, and I think for like a community that is often oppressed, you know, to just like be in a place that everybody there, you know, was in support of kind of the same mission and the same kind of like heart. Like everyone was there to just like celebrate and love and have fun and, you know, celebrate where everybody, you know, where this whole kind of community, how far they've come and where they're going. And I think, you know, the whole journals crew that was out there, we were kind of all just happy to be there together.
Sharing love and
And-
phone pockets.
What?
Sharing love and phone pockets.
Yes,
'Cause we do
we-
have phone pockets.
Yes, we were so
true.
excited, and you know, we were talking to so many people, and it was just like so fun. So I
And you know
think
what?
overall a really
Really
fun
positive
time.
experience. And you know what else
So
I think about
positive.
Pride? Pride has evolved to where it's like now it's like a gay straight alliance. It used to be just gay people, but now it's not that anymore. It's
Oh
just
yeah, anybody can go to
everyone
Pride.
who's here is cool because you wouldn't have paid to be here if you weren't cool. So
If you're supporting the act, then you can go no matter who you are.
yeah, that's really loving, and I think that's wonderful that you guys went and represented journals and gave it lots of
Yeah.
good hugs out, right? Lots of
Yes.
good hugs.
And thank you for letting us go, and you know, I think you know, I speak for all of us in saying that, you know, we had a great time, and we
the best.
And thanks for
We
like
really-
tracking
yeah.
glitter into my house. Good job.
I mean, there was no seriously glitter everywhere.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, glitter, and then it was like, oh no, glitter.
Glitter.
I was like,
I'm
get
still
that out.
finding glitter on my face.
glitter on my phone, in my purse. I was like,
everywhere.
in my hair. I was like,
but
this,
it's like a little taste of magic every time you encounter something.
it was like, it was magical. It was truly magical.
All right, so we have to talk about the news because there's some weirdo stuff going on in the news. I mean, it's tragic,
Always.
but we have to talk about it. So I don't know if you guys, because I like my stories. You guys were at Pride and I was in Buffalo, so same, right?
Yeah.
And
Buffalo, New York.
Buffalo, New York.
Wow.
That's where I grew up, and there was my Uncle Art's 95th birthday, and it was a big love celebration, but with less
Nice.
rainbows than
And
what
glitter?
you and a little bit less glitter. So I love all my cousins, and I just posted pictures to Facebook, so you can friend me on Facebook and look at my whole entire family. They're adorable. My family is the cutest. Oh my God.
Is this whole
How are-
is this whole show just a plug for you to get more social media followers? Is that the entire?
It's pretty much
purpose?
what it's devolved into. But then I missed the news, and this happened, so I'm going to read you the headline. So a girl named Michelle Carter is a 20-year-old Massachusetts woman charged with involuntary manslaughter for allegedly urging her then-boyfriend to commit suicide in 2014. She became... her defense, I guess, is that she became involuntarily intoxicated from prescription drugs. A psychiatrist for the defense. The defense is always coming up with like these creative reasons why someone did a horrible thing. I know this because my husband is a prosecutor, and you wouldn't believe like what people's defense can be sometimes. So this boy named Conrad Roy was 18 when he died in July 2014 of carbon monoxide poisoning after locking himself in his truck. The prosecution claims Carter, then 17, was reckless and caused Roy's death by telling him. So she's basically texting him and taunting him to get back into the truck.
Did she know that there was carbon monoxide?
Oh yes, she
in the
knew he
truck?
was trying to kill himself, and she was goading him to get back in the truck and texting him that he was texting her that he didn't want to die, and she was texting him to get back into the truck. So there's more about this. We have a videotape, right, Matt?
She was involuntarily intoxicated.
An expert witness testifying for the defense says an adverse reaction to the anti-anxiety medication Celexa accounts for Michelle's boyfriend, Conrad Roy, to kill himself. which he did inside his truck in Fairhaven back in July 2014. Dr. Peter Bregan says proof of his diagnosis is seen by contrast in Carter's behavior a month earlier. Note this June 2014 message Carter sends to Roy.
Have you thought about getting professional help? Like I'm thinking I'm going to go away to a place for my eating disorder to help me overcome it and stuff. The place also deals with psychiatric problems and disorders too, so they can help you.
Dr. Bregan says Carter shows symptoms of side effects from the drug beginning around July 2nd, 2014. That's 10 days before Conrad Roy takes his own life.
But at this point, she has an involuntary intoxication where she is not forming a criminal intent.
But on cross-examination this afternoon, the prosecution aggressively challenges the doctor to explain how anti-anxiety medication, which Carter had been using since 2011, suddenly intoxicates her, changing her brain activity and behavior.
And you're now telling us that she didn't know right from wrong at that same time.
Well, actually, she thought she was doing absolutely the right thing.
All right, so there's a lot of cases where people are taunting each other to kill each other online, or cyberbullying and that. Like,
What?
I know that. Look, there's a lot of instances where people are telling each other to kill each other via text. I think this may be the first time that someone's charged with murder. So I want to get your guys' thoughts.
I mean, what I find interesting, I mean, obviously, like, there's a lot of things here, but, like, what I find interesting is the whole, like, medication part. Because I think, like, a lot of teens, especially now, are on a lot of different medications for, like, ADD or anxiety. And I think a lot of, especially teenagers, don't acknowledge, like, what, like, major side effects, can affect us. And, for me, especially, like, I've been put on a lot of different medications for migraines. And so I, grew up talking to doctors about, how I'm feeling and what's normal and what's not normal. And, so I have talked to, some of my friends who've been put on medications, and I've noticed, without them even telling me, like, that they've been acting a little bit different. And just in talking to them, have been like, oh, like, are you, like, what's, you've been acting a little bit different lately. Like, is everything okay? And, like, have found out that maybe they've been put on something different. And, talking to them about, like, oh, if you're not acting like yourself, that's a big red flag. And there's tons of different, medications that maybe you need to talk to your doctor. And I think, doctors sometimes are not, great about talking to teenagers, especially about, what, like, communicating with them about side effects and
but
about
would that
changing.
cause somebody to text someone?
I don't think so, but I think that, like, in situations like these, well, this is an extreme situation, but, like, I don't know, in talking, and hearing that, like, that's just what it made me think of, is, like, we need to be better about when you're prescribing, there's a reason that we can't drink until we're 21.
Right.
Like,
asking kids, how is this making you feel?
Right.
Because kids will just go along with whatever the program.
Exactly. And following up and making sure that everyone is being monitored by psychiatrists or doctors on a regular basis is so important, because, like, we, don't know what normal is, especially when you're messing with what we perceive as normal. So,
and when your brain is changing every day anyway.
Exactly.
Ryan.
I think that as far as teenagers are concerned, and this is just kind of well known, but there's a very big, like, idea that won't happen to me, or, like, I'm invincible, I can't get hurt. So I think adding on to what you're saying about communicating with teenagers when they're on medications, what the effects of that are, you may be told, oh, this is a possible side effect, and then you say, well, that's not what's happening to me. I'm normal. I'm the exception to getting this side effect, or whatever it may be. And then also, in my personal experience, having dealt with anxiety for a lot of my life, different medications do interact with different people in very different ways. But I don't know exactly what happened in this situation, just because I haven't seen the text and I don't know the context of it. But I just know that, like, some people have very bad reactions to certain things, but it seems a little fishy that she was on it for years and then all of a sudden one day.
Yeah, I feel like in that little clip, we just saw the defense's case. We didn't see the prosecution's case. So what about if she was just really jealous or angry at this guy and she didn't think that he would actually do it, but this is what she texted? Go ahead, Tara.
I mean, personally, I just think that girl just needs to go bye, because that was just wrong of her to do that. But question, is it bad for me to say that I feel like doctors literally are just trying to put so much medication on kids without, like, maybe like going like to therapy or something, trying to figure out why you are the way you are and going through it that way. Like I feel like so many people rely on medication nowadays, where I just think that like F's you up even more. Like I mean, I know you said you've been on medication for anxiety and whatnot.
For you to say,
I don't think it's bad.
I think people are quick to say that everyone's like super heavily medicated now. I think that, you know, my personal view is that I think a lot of people need medication. I think that it's super helpful for a lot of people.
But it's just like putting so much stuff in your system.
I know,
though.
but
Isn't
I
that bad
think,
for you though?
but I think
it's like why I don't want to go on birth control, because like you don't want to keep putting all that stuff in your system.
Right, but I think what happens is that a lot of kids self-medicate in other ways. So they use drugs or alcohol.
But
That's my personal opinion.
Before we move on to the next news story, I really want to ask you guys, are we giving enough thought to what we text and the power that it has?
I think it's wrong. I think it's 100% wrong that she was
Definitely
telling him to kill himself. But my question to everyone else is, like, is it so serious that you should give someone a murder charge?
She's not a murderer.
She's
wrong,
not a
but she's not a
murderer.
murderer.
It was his choice, and he was that far into depression that he was gonna take his own life. Should you really charge someone with murder? Like, I just feel like it was.
She doesn't seem like a nice person.
Isn't that the
but she's
law?
not a,
I think it is kind of stupid that they're
wrong.
charging her for murder. Like, oh, go kill yourself. Okay,
They're
yeah, I'm gonna
charging
go
her-
do it. Like,
What's
They're
wrong
charging
that
her
she
with
told
this
him that?
involuntary manslaughter.
how do you know? But like, how does she know that he's gonna go and do it?
No,
like,
that's the law. Involuntary.
there is a
Just like if
so there
you,
is a distinction between murder and manslaughter, and then the types of, and there's the degrees of murder that has to do with how much you planned it and what your intents were.
what are other involuntary manslaughter cases?
All right,
Like
so
if-
I
A DUI
can
and you
explain the
hit someone.
difference just because
Go
I
ahead,
know
go ahead,
because
go ahead.
Yes.
my husband's a prosecutor.
That's
so,
so easy
so if
question.
you go down a street shooting off a gun, you're not necessarily going to kill someone, but it's an action that could kill someone.
But
And that's
telling
manslaughter, so
someone
is that
go
third
kill
degree?
yourself.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I'm not an expert.
I
But
know that there are some
literally,
laws. I know that there are some laws that have to do with like on college campuses, like if you don't like help
See-
somebody who's drunk or like whatever, and they die of alcohol, like you can be charged with
For
that.
this
So
person-
like, so like drunk driving is considered involuntary
Right,
manslaughter
like that's
because
another
it
one.
could kill
There's
someone,
somebody-
but
there-
your
right.
intent wasn't to wake up that morning and go out and kill a person.
For
But
someone
you
to
shouldn't
take,
have been drunk and
Sarah, listen,
driving.
if someone's like that
But
depressed,
that's not voluntary. Like involuntary manslaughter. So you
And
weren't.
the sentences are different and all that.
Right.
It is.
But the point being, right? I don't know.
if someone's that depressed to take their own life, then that's on. I feel like that should be on them. It's wrong that she was telling him to kill himself, but for him to take his own life and go that far, there had to be some other thing.
It feels
that
like
made him do
any
that.
other person would have been, honey, don't do a thing. Get out of the car. I'm on my way. That's the normal human response, is to stop him from doing it, not
Yeah,
to
I-
encourage
Well,
him.
I don't
bad-
think any of us are defending
bad all
what
around.
she did. I just
Yeah.
think that I personally, like, I think that if she had, let's say, like, broken up with him, he probably would have killed himself at that point too. Like, he was in a very bad state, and she
Yeah.
wouldn't be liable if she'd broken up with him. I'm not saying she's a good person or what she said was okay, but to put her on trial for even involuntary manslaughter seems like a lot.
I don't think
to
it's
me.
her
Maybe
fault.
cyberbullying. Honestly, like, that's the level that this is. If you ask, she was cyberbullying him. Like, it
yeah.
wasn't very nice.
Right.
That's about it. And
It's
he
not
was in
her
a
fault
very
that he
bad
killed
place.
himself, though.
All right. So the next news story is one that I think you may enjoy. A Democratic lawmaker in Rhode Island says that all of those pornographic browser tabs aren't his. So what the guy did was, his name is Ramon Perez. He was elected to the state's House of Representatives last year. He distributed a printout of a Wikipedia article during testimony last week. However, the file was actually a screenshot that showed not only the article, but also numerous browser tabs open to pages with explicit titles. Two contained the word teen, while one had the word young. So he's saying that somebody else sent him the screen cap, and those weren't his browser tabs, but
He's lying.
So what's going on though? Like, is he getting charged with something, or this is just like
well,
a
we
thing
do
that's
have a
being said?
video.
He just got put on blast.
So he's just put on blast.
He's put on blast. Show it,
He
throw it
didn't
to
want
Matt.
be recorded, but he did want the public to know he's truly sorry about this situation. He calls it an honest mistake, but now the State House is buzzing about it.
Let's see, Bill 5242, Representative Perez.
When State Representative Ramon Perez testified before the House Finance Committee on Wednesday night, he hoped to pledge his support for the Automobile Accident Social Protection Act.
They're going to give you some papers now that I'm going to explain a little bit of what is this about.
He offered committee members a printout of a Wikipedia article on similar policy in Puerto Rico. What he didn't notice, and what's captured in this screenshot of his handout, is that multiple browser tabs were pictured on the page. Those headers, which we've blurred out, include pornographic references. According to House spokesman Larry Berman, the handouts were quickly collected from committee members who looked visibly amused. Perez submitted new ones, and he's now apologizing.
Thank you, sir. You're welcome. Thank you.
We spoke with the District 13 rep over the phone Friday night. He says he got this handout from a friend who had done research for him. He's defending himself via Facebook, letting his constituents know he didn't notice what was wrong until he got phone calls about it.
We give something back to the people because
The representative says this is his fault and his mistake.
more expenses.
As for the bill he was pushing, it's been held for further study. And Perez is...
I bet it's not the only thing being held. Anyway,
Okay.
moving on. Sorry. Had to.
So here's my thing. So I'm sorry. He does look like that person that might have those browser tabs. Like he was. I'm sorry. I just had to say that.
Hey,
I know.
he deserves a fair trial.
I think it's so funny. It just he like imagining it. Okay, cool. But here's my thing about it. It's like. First of all, why did that have to be shown? Like, we're talking about bills or whatever he's talking about. Like, why is it honestly that big of a deal what his browser is? Like, why is that even out in the media right now? Like, why is that a thing? Like, I think that's so stupid. Like, they were talking about it. Media didn't need to see all these papers. They're making a big deal out of it. And so what? If he wants to go look at young teens having sex on the computer.
No. He can't look at children having sex. That's not
It's
legal.
old teens. It's old teens, as in 18 and 19.
Hold on. It doesn't. But here's my thing. If he's not having sex with those people, but he can watch whatever he damn well pleases.
No
to
one's
watch.
saying he can't. It's just funny, so that's why.
It's just funny. If they were adult porn sites, then it's
Tara,
legal.
he
But
put the
let's
screen-
face it, Tara, we're all town gossips.
He put the screenshot out there himself, though. It wasn't like the media went into his browser and put it out there. He had this.
He was at this.
He was at the thing, and he showed the screenshot to everyone
Yeah, and
else.
those were the handouts.
Those were the handouts.
I get that, but now it's in the public. Like
That's what happens.
Because it's funny, and everyone wanted to see it.
I know, but let's not judge him. Like if he's doing a good job, so what? He has browser tabs. I'm pretty sure every guy watches porn. Like it's okay.
I am a child of God. I don't do that.
I don't.
Jabbar, shut up. You all watch porn. You all.
All right, Tara.
Yes, you do.
You know what the funniest thing about this is? Is that grown-ups don't know enough about the internet to know that a screen grab, you need to, kind of crop it.
But why was he in the courtroom with those browsers open, though?
No, I think
it's
it
from
was
his
he
home
printed out like
computer.
a previous night and then brought it. But what I was going to say is
that makes
you have to
sense.
pass a test to use the roads. You have to pass a test to use technology.
Sure.
There's a lot of old people who can't use it. There's so many politicians. I don't remember which one it was, so I'm not going to say because I'm just going to probably get it wrong. But someone has tweeted out their password on Twitter twice. They've posted
I think
a tweet.
it's Sean Spicer.
Okay, it was Sean Spicer. Then.
I think he wants us to hack him. It's
he
a
was
cry
really
for
like-
help because he's in way over his head.
People just all the time, and there's those like, oh, free sex accounts, and they respond like, oh yeah, baby, I'm ready, and they're like, oh, I thought I was on a different account. Like, no, you're just stupid. You don't realize people can see it. Like, old people should not touch technology. I'm sorry, but that's how I feel.
More than anything, it's just a funny thing that will blow over, Tara. But
in a week.
Like he's not getting fired or getting anything right.
I don't know if there's anything more than, boy, was my face red at this moment.
I just think it's so silly to make this a thing. Like, who cares? Go watch porn. Do you, boo? As long as you're not doing anything illegal. Okay.
But we care. I got a good laugh out of it. I care. Like, I'm glad they showed me.
All right, so kids.
But they made it a point that it was like teens and young. Like, oh wow.
Yeah,
oh,
that's
no.
true. That's
well, we don't know if it was borderline or if it was.
No, it was. It definitely
all
was.
legit.
That's not
I
gonna
don't
be out.
know. But what would be a tip? What would be a tip that you would give to adults who try to
at least go incognito? He was just in regular Safari, like non-private
It's called
browsing.
incognito
because
window.
They literally don't know how to use technology. You're right.
There's a tab called incognito
Or in
window.
Safari, it's
and
private browsing window. Come on.
There you go.
All right.
I mean, I
Lesson
wouldn't know. I wouldn't
Lesson
know.
learned, right?
That,
And,
yeah,
you
definitely.
know, he
that's
could be
something.
just like taking this hit because it was his son's browser, and he's not gonna.
But he was like,
Well, then
someone
his
else
son
sent.
needs to exit out.
He was
when
like,
he's
someone else
done.
sent that to me. That wasn't me.
That's what he's saying
We
right
should
now.
have just owned up to it and been like,
All right,
yeah,
we're
it
gonna
was
dive
something.
into some questions. Jabbar, would you please read the first one?
Sure. I'm in a long distance relationship. He lives in New York and I live in California. Sometimes he doesn't text me for 2 or 3 days. He works and I know he might be tired and all, but how hard is it to text once in a while? We've tried having this discussion already. What should I do?
Wheezy looking right at me.
I do, because Ryan has been on the show since he
Ryan.
was 14, and this is a question we've had before.
Well, also, I was in a long distance relationship for a while in New York and California. I thought that's why you're looking at me. Yeah, I mean, my personal experience is long distance sucks. So let me just put that out there first. Like, sometimes you got to do it. It works for some people. I know people who pull it off really well. My roommate has been dating his girlfriend for a long time. They're great at it. I was terrible at it.
Jakey's good at it.
Jakey's really good at it. My experience with like that kind of problem is some people just are bad texters. Some people, like, when you put the element of technology in between things, there's going to be more margin for error, more times that people can be on different pages. And you either have to understand that when you're in a long distance relationship, it's going to be less satisfying than you want it to be, and live with that, which is, if you've talked about it and he can't text you more, that's what it is.
If you're in a long
or
distance
you break it off. Those are your two options.
If you're in a long distance relationship, you just can't be a bad texter, though. That's just how it works.
No, but you can be. Like, that's Jake is a terrible. I will say, Jake is in a. He's been with his girlfriend for 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah,
long distance for 2 years. Jake is the worst texter I've ever met.
Really? And it still works?
She has accepted that is how he is.
But
and
do they talk,
that's trust
do they
right there.
talk on the phone? Do they FaceTime?
They FaceTime. They'll watch Netflix together.
Aww.
Like they,
That's so sweet.
And they watch. They like make time for each other that isn't texting. I think.
Right.
So that's the point.
I think it's
If
mostly
you're
about
not-
trust. Am I right?
Yeah,
Yes,
100%
absolutely.
trust.
100%.
That's all it is.
But if you're not talking for 2 or 3 days at a time,
You have to be getting something out of it. Like, this is your relationship, and it has to be satisfying to you. And if he's not willing to take part in a way that satisfies you and makes you feel loved, and in a relationship, then that's not working out. Like, if you're saying to us, "Well, I have talked to him," then maybe this isn't the right thing for you, because a relationship is two people making the other person feel comfortable and loved. So that needs to be happening. And you can't carry all the weight by yourself. He has to carry a part of it.
If you distrust this person, then it's just not going to work. That's the bottom line.
No matter how much.
It's not even just about trust, Sean.
like
It's
if you're
about,
not
are your
fulfilled.
needs being met?
Mm-hmm.
But I
Yeah,
think
but
that
has to do with trust as well.
Yeah.
I think it's almost impossible to have your needs met in a long distance relationship. Like, part of a relationship is literally like hugging a person. And so even if you meet someone on the internet, eventually your goal is to get together. Like, that's the idea there. So you're going to be dissatisfied to some degree. It's whether or not it's an acceptable degree.
I will say I don't understand long distance when like a adult now, because it's like, okay, so like, are you gonna try to end up being in the same state? Are you gonna try and not, like,
Well, most
how
people
does
have
this
a game
even
plan.
work? Well,
I
yeah,
don't
no,
think
but
it's
no,
like-
but some people actually don't. Like, they might just like be like smitten for somebody that's like in a different state or whatnot, and like maybe you guys start dating by then, but it's like, but you start dating, but like, what's the ultimate game plan? Like, you honestly, like, when you're an adult, you have to decide that. And also when you're a teenager, it's like, but if are they gonna go to college? Are they gonna do this? Are you gonna do that? Like, long distance, I feel it's like, unless there's an actual game plan, it's gonna suck.
I agree that there should be a game plan for a lot of young people. The reason they're apart is because of school and because of goals that they're trying to complete before they would get to that part of their plan where they're together. But if it's you just kind of like looking on the internet for friendship on these various social sites and finding someone who you think is cute, and then there's no specific plan about you ever being in the same city, then you have to call Neve and Max to find out if the other person is real, and then it's like a whole big thing. So why not put your social circle in like the, what is it, like a 25 or 50 mile radius of people that you could actually meet up with? Because after like a couple of weeks of talking online, you should get offline and meet the person. I mean, that would be my online dating advice.
I feel like 9 times out of 10 long distance relationships don't work, but there is that slight chance that your relationship might.
Yeah.
And that you just gotta, like I said earlier, I feel like most of it is you have to base it on trust. As long as you trust the person, and everything will be fine.
Trust and communication.
Oh yeah,
those are the two things.
100%.
Next question, Jilly.
Yes. How to cure anxiety?
Okay, I have to just point out my favorite thing: questions that are phrased like a Google search.
Right.
Yay!
Fidget spinners. That's what's up.
That's what we were
All right,
talking
so we were
about.
talking. Sean, describe. So Aaron says I'm the only person that hasn't seen one in person. Can
Okay.
you find a video of a fidget
You've
spinner?
never
Neither have
wait,
I.
really?
I haven't seen one in person. I just see them on the internet.
Really? Are you serious?
I would want one that's a GIF that just keeps spinning.
It just spins. There's like 3 weights on the outside.
I'm gonna
and
get
in
you
the
one.
middle, it just spins.
Will
and
you
that's
get me
it.
one too?
Mhm.
But I thought
You
they
do
did.
love me.
Wheezy, listen to
fidget
this.
spinner.
Okay.
So I thought
Journals, fidget spinners.
everyone says it cures anxiety or it cures, being nervous or whatever. I thought this was false until I was in a social situation and I was sitting there and two people started arguing and I had a fidget spinner in my hand, and as they were arguing, I started like spinning it faster and faster and faster, and I was like, wait, whoa, this actually like works. This is making me less nervous right now.
Seriously?
Yeah, it really worked. So there's like a lot of different. There's fidget cubes. There's fidget spinners.
I really thought you were supposed to do it all like in one hand. So
If
I was
you're a
doing it
pro.
wrong.
Doesn't matter. You can do it one hand.
It depends on how
You
good
can
you
so
are.
you
maybe
can
I was
spin it
supposed to
in
be
one
really
hand
good.
and then throw it to the other hand and like try to catch it right in the middle.
Wheezy, it's a gyroscope without the ring on the outside.
All right.
Exactly.
So you can pull off tricks and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
High
there's
scores.
people that do crazy stuff with them.
Did you find one, Matt? All right, you
Almost.
flag me down when you find one.
There it
All
is.
right,
There it is.
Oh, so we got our fidget.
But that's like on a
Oh,
table.
Wow.
Like
Oh, there we
that is.
see, that's like a hey. That's a basic one, but then there's also like ones with like blades on the
Okay.
outside.
That is so soothing.
yeah.
Beyblades.
Oh, remember
The
Beyblade?
cube has like the buttons that you can press in, and then like the things that you can like move, like when it's like a lock box, and you can like there's a cube one that's really really cool. It's like 6 different things in one.
Okay, but these are like only one way to cure anxiety. There's also medication.
Well,
right?
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Okay, well, before we
There's a lot
jump
of-
to medication,
There's a lot of
We
other
go
things.
right
we
from
can do.
talking to somebody.
Yeah, that's
All right, so it's a really, really when questions are really short. Often we haven't been given a lot of information. So if you have generalized anxiety, like on the natch, usually, Jilly, what's the solution?
Okay, so anxiety is normal. First of all, getting anxious about certain things is normal, but if you have a lot of anxiety for an extended amount of time, that is not normal. So talking to somebody that you trust, like a counselor or an adult, that's a good place to start. They can help you through that and figure out if you have normal anxiety or something that maybe you need some extra help dealing with. Exercise is a really good way to deal with anxiety. Journaling is a really good way to deal with anxiety. Meditation, if you can do that. I cannot. I have a really hard time doing that. There's meditation apps though, like Headspace. That's a really good one. What else do I do? Yoga is really good.
I
What
like
else is
walking.
good?
Just walk
Walking,
for like 4
listening
miles.
to music.
music is my anxiety medication.
Right.
Definitely.
I was just going to say the first thing is when you say you're looking for a cure, cures for diseases, anxiety is a predisposition, not a disease.
Should be managed.
So it's how to cope with and manage anxiety, not how to cure it. You don't cure it. Like I said 2 questions ago or a question ago, anxiety is something I've been dealing with my whole life. There are a lot of, pretty much just what Jilly said, like you have to find something that brings you peace, if it's an exercise, if it's meditation or whatever it may be, and be able to do that. In some circumstances, you're not going to be able to do that. If you're driving your car, you can't go meditate, right? You can't close. I mean, if you're really good
Pull
at
over.
meditation, right, exactly. But sometimes medication can help with that. And other times, we all are not perfect, and it may just be one of the many shortcomings we all experience is sometimes you're more anxious than others. That's something I've had to accept. Is there's not always a solution. Sometimes I'm just anxious, and that's a feeling, and I let it be, and you move forward because we're not meant to be feeling perfect all the time.
So for you, Sean, is it listening to music or playing music? That helps?
That's fun. That's a good question. It's both actually. Like if I'm having anxiety and I like pick up a guitar and start playing, that obviously keeps my mind off whatever I'm thinking that gives me anxiety. And same with good music in general. Just listening to a good song is just very
Like, do you have
soothing.
a go-to one?
Ed Sheeran, honestly. Ed Sheeran is like it mellows me out.
Any one
immediately.
song in particular?
Icy Fire. So I'm
Okay.
just gonna say that it's not one.
Nice.
It's
Right,
not one
no,
song.
but that's
in
one of them
Nice.
at least.
Yeah, that's one. Of
And really just like doing
James
something
Blake
like
is
dance
also
around the
really-
room. Like don't just listen to the music, just like dance around the room, because when you're done, when you stop dancing, you feel it. Your body feels like,
Yeah.
oh, that motion. That
I'm
really
just repeating what everyone else said, but it's anything that keeps your mind off it or brings you peace.
And the other thing is, if you're
releases
specifically
endorphins.
talking about social anxiety, that's kind of a different thing, and that's the fear that people aren't going to accept you. And so I find that like focusing your attention on making the other person feel more comfortable takes your kind of concern away from yourself and onto them. And that's like a good little mental trick, like make someone feel warm, welcome, accepted. Just ask someone, how's your day going? Because social anxiety, we all kind of deal with that from time to time, correct?
Absolutely.
Of course, everyone does. It's
Yeah.
very natural
For
to feel that.
sure.
Next question, Ryan.
I feel like my best friend ruined my chance with my crush. I've liked him for a while, and I decided to write him a card with my feelings and my number on it. I spent weeks gaining the confidence to do it, but then on the day I planned to do so, my best friend messaged me her worries about my plan. She said that he could leak it or do all these other things that scared me. I decided not to give him the card, but now I'm having regrets. I put a lot of courage into making that card, and she tore it down unknowingly in a couple of messages. I don't know what to do.
Okay, Tara, you look at.
She was excited for this one.
Yeah, go ahead, Tara.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, she didn't ruin your chances. Like, you can still go and do it. She just was voicing her opinion, and you listened to her, and that's on you. So if you want to do it, go and do it. There
You
you
don't
go.
have to give other people this much power.
For sure.
If you want to text someone,
You want to speak to that?
if you want to text someone, just text someone. If you want to call someone, just call someone. I mean, like, maybe think about it a little bit and talk to some people, but whatever you want to do, go and do it. Jabbar, what do you want to
Yeah,
say?
you clearly have some.
No, I just like that, Wheezy. You can't surrender your power to people like that. If you felt you were comfortable enough to do this from the start without, that pre-thought of what if, those what ifs just destroyed you. Why'd you give your best friend that power to control what you were going to do already? It's not logical to me.
And also, you don't know her agenda. She could
Yeah.
like him. She could want to sabotage this for reasons that are unknown to you. So if you felt ready to do it,
And
trust your own gut. Rye, were you going to say something?
Oh, no, I just had this thought.
Yeah.
That's
dangerous.
There was this really, really, really bad movie that my dad and I saw when I was like 7, which I loved at the time, about birds, and one of them just yelled sabotage a lot. That was I don't remember what I don't remember what it was called, but you said sabotage and that popped into my head.
Just reminded you of that.
He's like,
All
"My
right,
bad."
So now you know what
so-
goes on in my head.
All right, so we have like an important news update. Breaking news, as they say on CNN, where everything on CNN is breaking news nowadays, right? So
Yeah.
breaking news, Katy Perry is making good on her claim that she wants to end the feud between her and Taylor Swift.
I'm making good on my
She's
claim that I want to
changing
end
the
the
lyrics.
conversation about them.
But Ryan, listen, this is very grown up. Katy is evolving. All right, she is changing the lyrics of her diss track.
She made a diss track?
Swish,
That-
swish. She did.
That I.
Why didn't I
Go
hear
ahead.
In an interview with Ariana Huffington during a marathon live stream that Perry did as promotion for her new album, Witness, the pop princess said that she wanted to make amends with Swift, noting that she was ready to let it go. Absolutely 100%. I forgive her. I'm sorry for anything I ever did, and I hope the same from her. All right, does anybody know what the riff was about?
No.
Probably
Like,
about
what
a
is
guy.
their beef over?
About a guy. I'm just assuming.
Me.
I wish we had
Did they
known.
release songs like at the same time or something?
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
like-
Oh, I think she did release an
No.
album.
Taylor
No, it was an
Swift
album or
released
something.
It was
her-
what?
Go
it
ahead,
was
Jabbar.
way
Go ahead,
back?
Jabbar.
Yeah,
You
when
know?
like Taylor Swift released her what's the song with all the girls in it, all the supermodels.
Bad blood, bad
Bad
blood.
Blood.
There we go.
It was targeted towards Katy.
Was
I don't
it?
know the
Wait,
lyrics
it
right now.
was?
Yeah.
Bad
So that
Blood.
started it around
Now we
that
got
era.
bad blood, but that was like a year ago. Like
yeah,
we've had
yeah,
bad
and it's
blood.
been going on since
Um,
then.
The f-
They're posting.
Oh, they were what?
Oh,
Poaching backup dancers?
Wait. I didn't hear
Oh,
anyone.
Aaron
What?
said they've been poaching backup dancers.
Okay,
Poaching. What
I
does that
have a
word mean?
major problem with a
shame.
lot of this.
Seriously?
You do?
Would you like to hear
I
why?
would. I
Jilly,
would love it because this
Jilly,
is
go
gossip
ahead.
time.
Would you like?
Bring
Would
it.
you like to hear why?
Yeah, like,
This is like a terrible
Example.
pinning
Oh.
women against each other. Like
Oh,
not
yeah.
like they're I don't even think this is like women like they are actually this is so bad.
no, but this
like,
is modern day feud, Betty and Joan. So this
but
just happens.
no, but this should not be happening. Like
Like-
especially in the public. Like they claim to be great role models for women, which I personally don't think either of them really are.
But there's
but-
boys who have beef online.
My favorite.
But it doesn't matter. Women have a problem with supporting other women. We have a huge problem. We immediately make each other like we
Compete. You guys compete
we
against
compete
each other,
so
yeah.
hard, and we have such a big problem with anybody else winning. And
Mm-hmm.
the reality of the situation is like there is enough room for everyone to succeed, and this is like the worst like example.
Yeah.
Like they are both succeeding, but like they both can't see that. But like they are both
But
succeeding.
maybe Katy is evolving to that point.
I don't think so. She is doing this for media. She's doing this for
Maybe we're
attention.
going to show a clip where she
I
changed
don't
the
believe
lyrics.
her.
All right,
I
well,
don't believe she made a diss track and then changed the lyrics. She made a
She felt
diss
bad.
track.
Maybe
and
she
she's
went to
trying to make it
therapy.
I
better.
don't think she feels bad. She's making a diss. She made a diss track. Like
It was a
I-
mistake, and she knows it, so she's changing the lyrics and being
I
like,
don't
"It's okay.
think
I want to end it."
I think that this is so dumb, and
I
I
think-
don't like either of them, and I think we should just listen to Beyonce.
I love
So should
both of
she?
them.
So should she not try to like make it
also-
better? Like if
I
she feels
think-
like she made a mistake.
I think by
you're making
changing
more
the
media.
I think by changing the lyrics and pushing people back to the song instead of just apologizing and ending it, I think it's a ploy. I think it's a media ploy, and pushing people back to the song to listen to it it's a whole thing. I think if she just apologized and took a step back, that would actually be more genuine than I'm going to change lyrics and now go back and listen to the song. That's my personal opinion.
It's for the money.
Yeah.
I think that's a very good point, and I don't disagree with anything you said. But as far as the context of like what a diss track is, like I think it depends on what type of music you're talking about. Kind of any mean song in pop is a big deal. Like every rap song is calling someone else out.
Oh,
I
yeah.
you know,
It's
I
not a-
always
but that's not them.
I know.
Right.
So I know it's out of context, but I think that there's a degree to which it's accepted in other
For
environments.
sure.
I also, on a less serious note, my two favorite diss tracks is B.O.B.'s diss track against Neil deGrasse Tyson because he says the Earth is flat.
But who doesn't love him? How is
And
that?
that's
a
called
thing?
Flatline. You can look that up. And I don't know if Neil deGrasse Tyson released a diss track back. I think he did. I think he did like a short thing on a show or something. And then also like go on YouTube if. I mean, it's an explicit song, but it's a 7-minute diss track of a very sweaty man dissing Kermit the Frog, and it's
Oh,
one
it's
of my favorite
on.
things
It's
ever.
on. Those are fighting
So,
words.
Just if you're on a lighter note.
Just on a
Did
side
you have
note.
something, Jabbar, on this?
Jilly, I kind of agree with you.
Okay. I'll
Only
take it.
because I think
I'll take the kind of.
this came after the backlash she got from, appropriating Black culture. And she got a lot of backlash for the videos and doing things on stage that were quote unquote Black. So everyone was attacking her, you just like most artists. Miley Cyrus was a part of this as well. And I think this backlash really got to her. And she's like, okay, let me take a step back. And, I see why people are mad. And I'm going to apologize for it. So I can see why she's like, okay, this might jeopardize my career. I need to get it together.
And she's like not the most relevant person right now. Like
Yeah.
Katy
she's
Perry?
hasn't- Yeah, she's
How
not.
dare you?
She's not put out any amazing songs.
She just
like,
put out her album. I didn't listen to it yet.
And there's plenty of room for everyone to be excellent. Because there's a lot of not subpar quality stuff out there, and so greatness. There's plenty of room for that. Why? Go ahead.
No,
Ryan.
especially if you're like the backup dancers. Like that seems like a dream come true to work with both of them as opposed to just one of
Well,
them.
they can't. But people poach backup
swear
dancers
a
all the
loyalty
time. Like
oath.
that's no. But I'm sure like they couldn't.
It was
be
like
on
overlap.
both tours.
Yeah,
and
it was
so
like
they
on tour. It
poach.
wasn't for like a music video. or
Yeah,
something. Oh,
no. But the moral of the story is like they. Like I hate the feuds,
Right.
and I know you like it because
I don't
the
know
drama.
I don't know if I like
It's
the drama.
fun,
I
but
want
like,
people to learn and grow.
especially for like girls and women and like whatever. Like we have to stop it, and we have to understand that like there is room for everyone. And when it comes to guys, and when it comes to success, and when it comes to all of it, like we have to support each other, and we have to understand that like when it's our time, and when it's not, it doesn't mean that it was supposed to be ours.
Right, but I don't want to imagine a world where women are the only ones feuding because that's
no. But I'm saying it's different. I'm just saying
you're
it's
saying we have
different.
to hold ourselves to a higher standard.
No, I'm just talking about women right now.
Okay, Sean.
I didn't have anything to say.
Oh, all right.
But Sean, you
I
have
know
to.
what you're
I
meaning,
like my name,
though.
though.
What?
I know what
You
mean about that because, like, women, you guys are looked down upon all the time. You guys don't get paid as equally as men. You guys, don't have the same power, and that comes financially to men. So when you guys are fighting against each other, why not come together and raise that bar for women?
Exactly. Like
I totally
if we are putting each other down while men are also putting us
Exactly.
down, it's like it's a double thing. And if
I-
we could just
I
like
agree.
if we could kind of lift each other up a little bit more and allow space for other women to shine also.
But would you allow a little bit of space that maybe Katy Perry is trying to do that right now?
Well, I think maybe now I would hope that now she's trying to, but I think she could have not made a diss track
Right.
to begin with.
Why
So,
don't we
like,
ship
that
her and
would've
Steve
been-
Harvey off and never see either of them?
Let's
again?
see what
my.
let's see what
Yeah.
happens from this point forward. If she's still like she's
No, I
stirring
think-
beef with everybody every
Right,
time
but
she's
I
in
think-
carpool karaoke, then we'll see that there's
Right.
a pattern.
I think dragging. Yeah. I think that's the moral of the story, and I think that anybody who claims to be a role model for women, like, needs to pay a little bit more attention to what that should mean.
because they're both not just role models for women; they're role models for young
Well,
girls.
that's what I mean. Sorry,
Yeah,
role models for young girls.
exactly.
Like when they are claiming that that's their kind of like MO. If you don't claim to be that, then like that's totally fine. But that's what they are saying.
Right.
So I just think there's a responsibility there.
They have a standard that they have to hit
Yeah.
every day. So I'm going to have Sean read the next question just because I think it will be fun.
Well, he's got personal experience, right?
So much personal experience on this one. All right.
Oh my goodness, Luna.
No, this dog loves me more than you.
I just started my period.
You did? Wow.
How do I tell my parents without freaking them out? And also, do I have to tell my dad?
Yeah, you do.
So
You,
You're
Sean,
not
do.
gonna freak
Not
them
anyone else.
out.
Sean, you are going to freak them out.
Why?
It's okay.
No,
Because
Sean
it's
is.
Sean.
Oh, yeah, you
Sean,
are.
that
Sean.
will freak out
Okay,
your
go ahead,
parents.
Jilly. Go ahead, Jilly.
You really should tell your dad.
I didn't write this question. Just so you
All right, Jilly.
You're not gonna freak them out. Just tell them. Do you have to tell your dad? Did I?
I say
No,
no.
you don't.
I say
didn't
no.
tell
You
my
do not
dad.
have to tell
I think the
dads.
mom
But
will
your
go be
mom
like,
will go
Yeah,
and tell the
I
dad.
just
Yeah.
told my
And
mom.
it's not a
she
big deal
told
because
my dad. I'm sure at some point.
at a certain point, your dad will look at
It's
you
fine.
and assume that you have your period.
It's
Bitches
really
get
not that
stitches.
big of a deal.
Not at all. I mean, periods feel like a big deal because it's happening to you and happening to your body, and it's a very
I was
brand new
pumped.
thing. And
I
it's a
was
completely
thrilled.
weird thing to have to happen to a person. Let's
Did
be
you just
honest.
say you were pumped?
I was. I was.
The
I was
concept
excited.
is so bizarre. You know, when you're 9 and you think about it, you're like, holy,
Wait,
is that
it's
going to happen to me?
9?
That's like such an
They're
odd
saying
thing
beforehand.
to happen to a person's body.
9.
No, she's
was
saying
like,
when you're
When you
9.
first
you
realize
heard
that that's
Boomers.
going to happen
Oh,
to
I
you,
was-
you
was like,
freak out
9?
a little bit, right?
9 wasn't the age that happened to me.
Guys,
Well, you just sent the question in now.
think
so-
about what happens to us once a month. That's not pleasant, okay? So when you first hear about it, you're like, let me be the one that happens to at 16. Like, but some girls are like, see it as a mark of becoming a woman, and they're ready for it. Then it comes and they're like,
It's like
oh.
Debbie Gallagher on Shameless. She was so
Right?
excited to get her period.
So you think it's totally weird, totally embarrassing because it's happening to your private parts, but it happens to half of the population of planet Earth. So
51%.
you do need help. You need one-on-one attention. You have to tell your mom or the nearest female who's a grown-up. They all understand women are here on Earth to help each other through your first period. That's what we do. We have supplies. We will help you. Jilly.
Yeah, I mean,
Any first period stories, ladies?
Oh. Yeah. Can
Go
I?
ahead. Yeah, go
Okay.
ahead.
So I was always joking around with my mom, and I was always like kind of saying like, "Well, I got my period," but I never really did.
Sean's face.
And
right
then
Why were you jokingly
I
saying
don't
it's your
know
mom?
because
Like,
because I was because I was 12 and I was being just a stupid little girl, and so there was this time where like I got to do this whatever movie in Atlanta, and I had a couple lines in it, and we were doing like a premiere and whatnot, and I went to the premiere, and then I went to the bathroom. And then I started and then it happened. I was like, I run out of the stall. I'm like, Mom, I got my period. She's like, that's funny, Tara. And I'm like, no, I freaking got my period. That night, it was the worst freaking thing in the world. We had to go to CVS. We had to get tons of pads. Like I couldn't stop crying. Like it was the worst thing ever. And it was like at this premiere. So I was like, seriously, but she didn't believe me at first because I was like the boy who cried wolf so much.
the girl who cried period.
Yeah, the girl who cried period. But yeah, so then it happened, and it was honestly it hurt like a mother.
Yeah, it does
It's
hurt,
not-
and you
it's
should
not
not
fun.
go it alone. You
No,
do need to tell
but
somebody.
I mean, my dad freaking knew. He was like, we had to go to CVS, we had to get the pads. Like he didn't care. He's just like, it's gonna happen. Like he's been with your mom for a while. He knows what periods are. Don't worry. He's just gonna shut up and let you do you and let you be around your mom. Like dads are cool. Like they understand.
They get
to
it.
back up when it comes to this. So yeah, that's my period story for you.
Yeah,
Also,
make
you
sure
don't
you
have
have extra stuff with you at all. Like bring it to school.
You don't have
it
to
in
do
your
the
backpack.
embarrassing thing like tell your dad. Your mom will take care of that. What you do have to do is tell. If you've got a mom who lives in your household, then you have a period expert who lives under your roof. She can answer any period-related questions, and you should start that dialogue because you're going to have more. Like, why is it late, or why is it heavy, or why is it light, or blah blah blah. So start that conversation with your mom because she's there to help.
Next question.
Next question. Sean's like, can we please stop talking?
Sean's embarrassed.
All right, Sean, you get to read the next question.
I didn't want
because
anyone
made-
to know that happened to me, guys. Okay.
All
whatever.
right, you get to read the next question because I made you read the period question. Okay, go
All
ahead.
right. My boyfriend has cheated on me multiple times. Why is he still your boyfriend? All right,
So
I'm gonna continue the
loud.
question. Sorry, am I too loud? Sorry. I moved in with him when I was 18. Now I'm 20 and honestly have nowhere to go, and I can't support myself, so I'm stuck here. I love him, but I'm not attracted to him anymore, and he irritates me so much. I do not know what to do. There you go, Tara. That's all you.
All you.
All right. Okay, so I lived with my boyfriend when I was 19 years old for 3 years, my ex. And he didn't cheat on me, so I didn't have that. But when you're saying that you have nowhere to go, you can't support yourself, you're stuck here, you love him, but you're not attracted to him anymore, and he irritates you, I'm right there with you. Love the kid. Was not in love with you. I didn't care for you. I didn't want you touching me. I didn't want anything from you. And I was worried financially. Like, I'm literally in the same boat except the cheating. Honestly, you are not happy. You need to cut that off. You need to, if you can't support yourself, you need to find a way to do it, whether it's calling your parents or going out and finding a job. There definitely is somewhere you can go. If you have friends, if you have something, you can figure it out. You just need to like have the confidence to do it. And I personally, I believe in you. I think if you're unhappy and you want to change something about your life and you already know that you don't want to be with this guy, get away from him. Do it. Take a leap of faith. It's gonna freaking be hard the first couple weeks, but once you do it, it's gonna be so much better for you. So get the confidence, figure it out, and go. Leave him. Bye.
Yeah, well, that for sure. But I'm not going to speak on what you consider love to be, because I guess everyone has different definitions. But for me, if you're going to say you're not attracted to the person, so you're not into them physically, and you're annoyed and irritated with them, so you're not really into them emotionally, I'm failing to see where you love this person.
No, you can love them. You can love them.
Let me finish.
Sorry,
I think that you have a misconception of what you love, and you love what you had before they cheated on you, before you became irritated with them. You love the history you have with that person, and you love the good memories you share. But the person you're with today, if you're actually constantly irritated with them, so you have an emotional disconnect, and you're not physically attracted to them, I don't see what you're confusing with love besides memories and a past sense of that relationship.
Mm-hmm. And to that, you probably were in love with this guy when you were 18, and you moved on. That's that age gap right there is like when you're growing so much. Like from when I was 18, 17 years old, I moved here from New Jersey to California, and I have learned so much things. I have learned so much about myself, and I have moved on from relationships, and it's not your fault that you probably moved on. You're not attracted to him, and we don't know that if she's not attracted to him physically, she can be, but attracted to him emotionally on a emotional level.
I mean, if someone was cheating on me, I would be not attracted.
Right, that's
to
what I'm
them.
saying.
I mean,
Because
if
with
I
the
would
cheating,
be
how
that
are you
would be
still?
a big thing that I would not want to be a part of anymore.
I mean, I don't agree with the love part, because I will say, like, I've took a lot of time within my breakup to really think about it, and I irritated, not attracted, like all that stuff, and honestly hurt after the fact with the communication that I've had with my ex. But still to this day, if the kid ever honestly needed anything, I spent 4 years with you. I did so much for you. I did love you, even though like I'm not in love with you.
You love him, but you're
I'm not in love. But I love you as a person, even though I wouldn't care anything that happened to you right now. I'd be like, whatever. I would still deep down love you, and I'm here for you. Would you feel the same way? I don't know, but that's just me, as like, I'm a Cancer. We're very emotional people. We love people. But if I took 4 years with you, dude, I'm still gonna love you, but I'm not gonna want to be with you. I'm not gonna want anything to deal with you, but I'm gonna love you.
What part of that is love? It is like you see what I'm saying? I don't want.
No,
I could care
I
less
get
if it
it.
happens to you, but deep down I do.
What she's saying is a shared history.
is.
Shared history with the person.
Which is what I'm saying. You're in love with that shared
Have
history.
you had that happen? Have you lived with someone for 3 years or 4 years and then been like bye because of stuff because you fell out of love?
Yeah, but
No,
I
you
haven't
don't
had
have
that.
you? Okay, so then you can't
So
talk
I can't
on
speak
it.
to love at
You
all.
can't, no,
But
not
you haven't
to
been cheated on,
love.
so you can't answer the question.
Well, I can't answer the question and the cheating. But
Okay,
even if
then
he
no,
did cheat,
right?
but
I mean,
even
if that's how
like,
we do it now.
If my ex had cheated on me, it's like I spent 4 years with you, being with you, doing all that stuff. Like, I mean, it's like I've thought about it a lot. I have. I'm not because in love and love are two completely different things. Like, there are people that I genuinely love because like they're like I love them as like my friend or something. But like this guy, my ex that I spent 4 years with, I do love him. I'm not in love with him. Am I upset with him right now and everything? Yeah, but like.
But isn't
sorry. I think I didn't mean to hold you that. I think Tara's trying to say. Tara's trying to say there's different kinds of love.
Right, but
there's being in love,
right.
and then there's loving. Like, okay, you don't love your family the same way you love your
Right,
girlfriend.
but we're talking in a romantic context. Like
No,
this
we're
is.
not. We're talking
Well, yeah, we are
We're
talking
talking about a
romantic.
relationship. Like, yeah, I love my best friend. I'm not in love with my best friend. Like, that's.
I would agree with both of you. What
Okay,
you
I
said-
don't think it.
Go ahead.
But
Sorry, I don't know that it matters.
Well, I was just gonna say, I guess it is to some degree semantics, like whether, like, just
She's
using
saying-
the word.
She's
but
saying, what do I do?
Also,
Alright, so
also,
stuck here.
also.
All right, so wait,
She's
wait,
stuck
wait,
here.
wait, wait,
She's
wait.
stuck
So the
there, she
question
moved
is,
there, she's stuck there.
this
What does she
person
do?
is 20.
She's dependent.
They were an adult yesterday. They don't see a personal infrastructure that doesn't involve this person. That's why they're writing. Because everything that's in here, not attracted to him, he cheated on me, it would be like, bye, why are you writing us a letter? So we're here to inform you that there is life outside of this person.
I thought
you,
I answered it well.
Like, because Tara, you found roommates, you found a situation, like you rebuilt your situation that didn't include a boyfriend, and that's very possible, and you should.
Right.
Correct?
Wheezy, what you said, you used the word infrastructure. That's perfect. You said you don't see an infrastructure without that person. There is not one right now. You have to build one. That's
You
what
have to build
infrastructure is. It has to be constructed.
Yeah.
So you start at square one with nothing, and then you build a base for that. You find roommates. You get a job outside of whatever you have going on now, and you build on that.
That is what you said, but there's sort of a danger of reaching adulthood so attached to a person because you never ever, have developed that independence that is necessary because you're not always going to have someone who is in love with you who's helping you pay the rent. Like, you've got to figure out how to do life. Jabbar.
Preach, Wheezy, preach. I was in a relationship for 2 years, and I relied on this girl financially. She was very wealthy. I relied on her. She paid for everything.
Is her name Madonna?
Jabbar did.
We're just trying to
He
find
did
because
Madonna.
Jabbar has like a mysterious private life.
He
Okay,
wants
go
to
ahead.
He does though.
But I relied on this girl to do everything for me, to feed me, to borrow her car, whatever I needed, she was there for me. And then eventually, once I got older, once I hit like the age of 19, 20, I said, I don't like living this way. I want to grow. I want to be independent from anyone. I don't want to depend on my parents. If I have to lean back on them, of course, but I don't want to depend on anyone. And that came with me. I always said I would never get a job because I want to just do my acting out here. I don't want to get a regular job. I never even had a regular job, but I just was like, F it. I'm going to get a job because I want the money. I want to feel independent from you financially. And then, just getting your assets together on your own just makes you feel so much better as an individual. So you don't have to rely on someone for that support anymore. That is like the main part of like cutting
best
off all
feeling
those
ever.
ties. Yeah.
Does make you feel empowered, sure.
Yeah.
All right, so that is what we recommend. Let's move on. Tara, have you read yet today?
I have not.
All right, let's do one more question. We can go as long as we want because we're not live today. We're just, we're doing us.
Okay. So which one? Like the next one?
Which one? Well, you have time for one more. You pick one that you really love.
I don't know. Jilly, pick for me. 1, 2, or 3.
2. Okay.
Okay. I have a crush on my friend and neighbor who is 2 years younger than me. He likes anime, so whenever I go out shopping, I see stuff that he likes and I buy them. This is kind of a weird question. I always want to give it to him, but I guess it'll be awkward. Would you like it if somebody came to you and gave you something like that? Would it be weird? I don't think it would be weird. So they're your neighbors, so you know them. I like receiving gifts. So, like, if my neighbor wants to come bring me gifts and he's 2 years older than me, like, why not? Do it, please. Thank you.
If you have a crush on the guy, and you know him, it's not weird. I think giving someone a gift can be a hint. It can be a little, hey, I got you something. It can show that you're interested. If you don't know the person very well and they just happen to live next door to you and you know their interest, it's creepy. I don't know my neighbors. They brought me a gift. I'd be like, yo, why do you know I like sports? This is too much. But if it's someone I talk to on a regular basis and they're like, hey, I got you something, I'd be like, oh, okay, that's really sweet. And then I think about it, So it just depends on the circumstances there.
No matter who it is, though, if like someone thought of you and got you whatever that may be, even if you hate that, I feel like it's like the thought that counts. That's how I always.
It's definitely a romantic gesture, and
If
I
it's
know that when you have a crush on someone, everywhere you go, you see things that they would like.
Yes.
That's not how
So
I
it really just depends on what kind of friendship, what kind of friendship that you have struck up. Jilly, thoughts?
Honestly, I have no idea. I'm so bad at this kind of
So
stuff.
if like some guy that
I know
lives
who's
next
not
door,
getting me a gift for my
some guy
birthday.
lives next door, and you've talked to him like a little bit casually, and he ding dong, cupcakes.
Cupcakes
He just
is different
rings the
though.
doorbell?
I think there's difference between cupcakes and something you specifically like.
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
there is.
Do you not like
All
There
right.
is. Like,
Anime
There's
cupcakes.
a difference.
yeah,
Anime
I don't really know.
How
I'm
would
trying
you
to
feel, Jilly?
think.
Like, say if you told me, All right, me and you are like a little thing.
Okay.
And you told me about you liked, I don't know, superheroes. And I brought you a bunch of comic books.
No.
What would you think about that?
Can we? Okay. I like Beyonce, and you.
I love Beyonce as well.
I know. So
Beyonce cupcakes.
Well, this is just meant to happen then.
This is just meant to.
I would think it's, but I don't know that I would necessarily think it's romantic. Like, I don't think like.
No, the context is important.
Right, but then how, as a neighbor, like that's my. But see, like that's also my problem.
It's not if
So-
it
Right, well,
feels
if-
romantic,
Jilly,
it's
if
if
it
it
was-
feels weird.
If it was your birthday, right, and like I showed up with a gift, you would make nothing of it. It's your birthday. That's a normal gesture. It may be particularly kind of me, but it's a normal gesture.
Yes.
If I like was just hanging out with you and I was like, hey, like I got you something, and it was just like a random day, you would kind of pick up on the fact that was different.
Not necessarily.
I would hope.
But
you
that's
I
my
would.
problem.
Jilly never picks
Okay,
up
so
on
I
it.
don't
Jilly,
pick
with
up on
Beyonce,
anything.
if I bought you like Lemonade, that her whole discography, you'd be like, okay.
This guy likes me.
Okay, I get
This
it.
is a me problem. This is not a you
I
problem.
would say
It's
Sorry.
situational.
It's
It's
not
I
not
would say it
It's
really
not you,
depends
it's
on
me.
your
It's a
friendship,
me
but
problem.
he will see it as a romantic gesture if you.
Unless he's Jilly.
Unless it's me.
Unless
in
it's
which
Jilly and
case
it's just like, whoop.
it's a big problem.
We love you. Thanks for being with us. We are Journals Out Loud, and you can find us online everywhere at Journals Out Loud. Please subscribe to this channel and thumbs up because we like you and we want you to like us back.
I love
Otherwise,
this
it
song.
would just be weird.
Let's get turned to this.
Wake up, Jago.
Thank you, Matt Sigmund, Nicole Ehrenbach, and all the kids on the panel.